All right, so here's the sub panel that we should be able to install a, no, I'm not going to do it, but the electrician should be able to install a breaker in the center here, 60, at least a 50 amp breaker, which is I need. Hopefully I'm going to have him put a 60 amp breaker. Or the main thing is I'm going to have wiring that goes from this sub panel to the main panel to the other side of this wall that can handle a wired charger. I didn't get the wired charger, which I explained earlier, but we may want to get a wired charger later. Maybe we get another electric car. I'm not sure. So I want to make sure they only throw on the wire once, even though it helps the next person who bought the house. It's fine. And then we have, so I'm only drawing 40 amps. I may only be able to put a 50 amp breaker in here for now. But in any case, this is where the solar roof comes in on this side, and over here is the AC. So originally, this went directly to the AC, but then when they put the solar roof in, they put in this sub panel on this side, and they probably left this open. It was put in by Solar City, which is now owned by Tesla. So I'm assuming they put it in. I'm happy they put it in with this extra breaker location because we can put in a electric car charger. So let's take a look at how we're going to install, how we're going to mount it on the wall, and where we need to have the electrician put the plug so that we can plug it in. All right, so here's the charger, Grizzl-E charger, laid out how I want to have it installed. So I'll show you where I'm going to put the bracket in a second here. So this is the bracket that goes on the wall. Actually, this is the bracket that goes on the wall, and then this goes on the back of the charger. Slots in and rests on these tabs on the bottom. So we're going to mount this on the back of the charger, and I mount this on the wall. There's room for 3 plugs, 3 screws. We use heavy-duty screws. And then over to the left of where the charger is going to be installed, I'm going to have the plug come down, straight down from the sub panel. Let me just go and point this out. The plug's going to come down here from the bottom of the sub panel. It'll be down here somewhere. We're going to mount this bracket down here, so the charger will be low because we want to mount this bracket for the to hold this cable at a convenient height. So if we put the charger here, we'd have to have this way up here, which would not be convenient. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount the charger down here, have them put the plug over here, and then put this right about here, and then this cable will just hang over this, like that. So there's a little bit to talk about putting this on the wall, because this is wider than a stud is only 1.5 inches wide. So we need to put a piece of wood this way on the wall, so we can screw this in with it. Because this is pretty heavy. So how heavy is this? Well, it's actually this is actually heavier than this, I think. So this has to be super solid too. It has 4 screws we can put in. We'll put heavy duty screws, and that's how we're going to mount it. So all right, let's see how it works out. All right, so it's time to put this mount on the wall. I'm not going to mount this permanently on the wall because I'm going to wait till they do the electrical work, but we need to put this wall side of the mount on the wall, and then remember this part slips on top of it like this, and then slides down. This attaches to the back of this. We'll show that in a second. So they give you some screws here. There's some machine screws to attach this to the back of the charger, but then they give you these lag screws, which they have a square head on them, which I don't have a bit that fits this, so we're not going to use these. I'm not sure why they give you this Allen wrench, but this Allen wrench is only good for these screws here, and then these screws on the front of the charger, which I'm not going to open those up. So that's weird. That's kind of weird. So we're not going to use these. I dug through my parts kits here, my random lag screw drawer, and I found these lag screws, and they fit a let's see what size it was. electric. Let's see. So they fit a, it's a 12 millimeter. Let's see, what's this one? Yeah, so they fit a 7/16 socket. So we're going to be using our driver with a socket adapter to finish off. We're going to pre-drill the holes into the stud, otherwise it could split the wood. So these are pretty thick. Also going to use washers. So when we put them in here, it's always a good idea to relieve some of the pressure by using a washer. So we're going to put a washer, and it's got room for 3 screws. There's no problem with these sticking out because, well, actually maybe there is. Let's see what happens when we put this on. Oh, I see. So there's cutouts in this thing so that it doesn't interfere with that. That's kind of nice. Okay. Doesn't go down very far. So there's cutouts here so we can put these in with the washers without a problem, it looks like. Let's double check this one. This washer's a little bit bigger. Whoops. This washer is kind of big, so let's see. Yeah, this washer's too big. So I'll find some washers that fit, and we'll get this in the wall so we'll be able to mount this so we can show them where we want to put the plug coming out from the bottom of the sub panel on the wall there. Alright, so I found some washers that'll work. These are just barely big enough. They're the same size as this cutout. So they goes in and slides on without interfering with the washer doesn't interfere with this going on there, so that's good. Alright, so that's our 3 lag bolts and 7/16 heads. And it looks like they're about 2.5 inches long. That should be good. Like I said, this is pretty heavy. And of course the cord is heavy, but that's going to be hanging on this thing. We're going to do a different kind of a thing for this. I'll show you later. We're going to, because this is wider than a stud. A stud is only 1.5 inches wide, and this is about 4 inches wide here. So we need to put a cross piece, a cross 2x4. Yeah, so a cross 2x4 should be able to go this direction, and then we'll screw that into the wall, the 2x4, and then we'll screw this into the 2x4. It should work. Alright, so let's get over the wall and we'll figure out where we're going to put this in and pre-drill our holes. Alright, so here's the sub panel. We're coming out of a hole in the bottom of this. The plug's going to go over here. We're going to straddle this, we're going to be on this stud. You can see I put this wallboard in a long time ago, and wherever the screws are, that's the stud, so I already know where the stud is. So we're going to straddle this screw right here. There'll leave enough room up here to put the little hook, plastic hook that comes out from the wall to put the cord on. So that'll be a convenient height. You can just grab it, plug in the cord. Alright, so I used my level to score a line down here so you know where to put the screws. Unfortunately, this isn't, this is made of aluminum, so it's not magnetic. So this is a magnetic level that could stick to the side if it was magnetic, but it's not. Alright, so we're going to put the top one in first. We're going to make sure we miss this screw. And we'll just line it up. Just going to get the top one in, and then we can make sure it's square, and we'll do the other ones. Alright, so there's my first starter hole. So of course I'm using my safety glasses. And we're using a 3/16 inch drill for these. I'm not sure how you characterize these lag bolts. The lag bolts look like they're a little over 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 inches. So 7/16, so maybe I think these are 3/8 inch lag bolts. So use a 7/16 or a 3/16, which is half the diameter. We'll see. All right, that definitely went into wood, so that's a good sign. So now we're going to go ahead and switch out our drill for this nut driver attachment that has a 1/4 socket, or 1/4 connection here, and then a 7/16 on this side. So we're going to get our washer on here on our lag bolt. And we're going to put this up here. Make sure you get the right direction. Little tabs here on the bottom. Go on the bottom because that's what the That's what the thing rests on. So I'm just gonna put this in here. And we're gonna switch this to drive and slow it down with a clutch so that it won't over tighten. That would help. Use some more juice on the clutch. I'm not going to tighten this all the way down because I want to have some leeway to move the other ones in. Let's tighten this down. I want to stay on there, okay. Alright, the clutch definitely needs more juice. So up to 13. That's a lot. 14. Maybe I didn't drill my... That's pretty close to the end there. Or maybe I didn't drill my pre-hole deep enough. That's one possibility. So now we're going to do the other one. So I'm going to double check our level. So we're using the level here to double check everything. Definitely want this level and square. We don't want it crooked. I'll just poke it in the middle of this hole. Alright, there's our starter hole. Alright, you saw what I did, so I'll just pre-drill these other holes and then put in the nuts, the lag screws rather, and we'll have this ready to mount do a test mount of the charger. Alright, so I had to put up to 15 on this to get it to finish up. I could have got a regular socket wrench, you know, with a long handle, but I figured I'd try this. So 15, it was able to seat all these, and this is super solid now. So let's go get the charger, put the back on it, and then we'll mount it over here. All right, so we're ready to mount this back on here, and it's just a simple matter of putting these machine screws in and tightening them up. 4 machine screws, 1 for each corner, and this S-shaped Allen wrench they give you. The bigger one is for these. Let's see if it clears the... Doesn't, so that's inconvenient. So we'll tighten these up by hand as much as we can. I could get my own driver, but as long as this is here, I'll just do this. So. Still not very tight. Let's see. Tight as possible by hand. There. So we'll just do this in a crossing pattern. That's the usual best way to do it, so it doesn't get extra tension in some direction. And just want it to be snug, not to be overly tight. I don't want it wiggling around, but I don't know if it vibrates at all once you're charging. There's some energy in here, so could, I guess. All right, so that's good. Now we'll go put it over on the bracket and see what it looks like. All right, here we go. See if it fits. All right. So this plug will come over here. So we'll have mount the plug over here on the stud, I guess. It's just going to be set up from the wall. It's not going to be... I don't see a reason to make it recessed. That's just extra work. So just put it on the wall. And then this will go up here like this. and then it'll be easy to grab to charge our car. So let's do it this way. Flip this around so it won't be that way. Like that. And then this actually plugs into the. I'm going to leave this tie wraps on it until we're ready to finish it. And this end here has this cap on it, but it also will plug into the end of the hook that they give you, the plastic hooks. Let's put this over here for now. We've also got this thing as a deterrent, or for maybe earthquake safety. You can put this in the back here and keep it from being taken out of the wall prematurely. Use this cotter pin to hold it in place. So I can do that now. I'm going to put the cotter pin in here though so we don't lose it. There. Alright, so let's leave this here for now until the electricians come over. So we're getting 3 bids. First guy came today, and the other guys, one guy's coming next week. Hopefully I'll hear from the other guy soon. So it's always good to get 3 bids on any of these kind of projects. Now this is a new installation. It's going to require rewiring of the wire that comes from the main panel into this panel. So we're going to get a building permit. We're going to have these contractor get a building permit, and we're going to have an inspection by the electrical inspector. So make sure they install it properly. So it's more money, but it's in the long run, it's everything's safer, and you make sure they do the work properly. It's mainly to protect you, the homeowner. That's the way I look at it. So it's a reasonable expense to make sure that everything's safe and your house is safe. So don't skip on permitting.